so much for coming to this session on primary literacy through climate. It's amazing to have so many passionate educators that care about this stuff in one space. We're just going to start with a really quick activity to get your brains going. So I'm going to screen share a quick starter activity and get you guys to do it. So here you have a picture and 4 sentence starters. I'm going to give you 2 minutes and I'd like you to try and complete 2 or 3 of those sentences. So you've got 2 minutes. Can everybody see that? Okay, 2 minutes, off you go. You've got about 30 seconds left. If you've done 3, have a go at another one. There you go. It's nice to be put on the spot right at the beginning, isn't it? Would anyone like to share one of their sentences? Yeah, Rosie?
At protest, I felt like I wasn't alone.
Nice.
I'll do the first one. It was Friday, September the 12th, I think. I put on my coat, I went through the door and joined a worldwide movement to do something positive for my future.
Nice. Shall we have one more?
What was the last one? Because I didn't write the beginning. I think during this I felt powerful.
Oh, good. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for humouring me with that. I'm just going to show you one more quickly. So that was the sentence starting one, and then there's another one here, really simple. You've probably used things like this before, where you can use pictures that are quite inspiring or thought-provoking, and then instead of sentence starters, you can have question words and get the students to write questions about what they think is being shown. And both of those really are just to show how, even if you're doing a lesson that's got nothing to do with climate change, you can do a quick starter and bring a bit of climate change into every single lesson that you do, if it isn't a topic that you're actually studying. So we're going to move on now. I'm going to pass to Sue, and we're going to have a go at exploring a mind mapping activity to help with planning. The first thing is I'm going to pop a link into the chat. We're going to have a go at using Miro. I don't know if any of you have used it before. It's like a screen that we can all share writing things on at the same time. So I'm going to pop that link in the chat now. And if you can all click on this link, and then Sue will give further instructions.
we are going to look at a web page called Letters to Tomorrow, hopefully. And it's a place where pupils can share their hopes and dreams for our world and our future. So you can see on here that they can write and submit a letter, or they can view other people's letters. These are examples, some written to real people, members of the family or famous people, and some to fictional characters. Have a quick look at those. It's a nice resource. It's got quite a lot in it. There we go. To my grandchildren, to future readers, to my children. They look like they're all family ones. There's other kinds of ones as well. Somebody wrote one to their cat. Yeah, future selves, dear King Charles, dear world. So there's lots and lots of different ideas there. These letters can be displayed in school or read out in assembly, shared with the local community, sent to local politicians, just to encourage more people to take action. Now, if you're interested in using that resource in any way, if you go down to the bottom, it says get your school involved, and it shows you lots of the different ways they can support with this. There we go, we've got primary and secondary resources there with activity packs, which include a teacher guide, lesson plan, and the letter examples. So we think that's really useful. Right, I am now going to hand over to Rosie from Microclimate Books. Hello, hi, thanks for inviting me in. I am going to talk about Microclimate Books. I'm the founder and I set it up last year, just over a year ago. It originally started, I've got 3 young children, and I was, as everybody is, in despair at watching what's going on with climate change and not knowing how to act or what to do. And one thing I could do was educate my children about climate change and teach them about what is important and about all the different aspects of it. And they are, at the moment, they're 3, 5, and 8. So it was kind of difficult to do as I was trying to explain a lot of the different topics, and it wasn't going very well. So I looked into what books were available, and I got several books, and it took a while to find which ones. And by far the most effective were the storybooks, and they were also the most difficult to find. They enjoyed listening to stories, as children do. They gather together and they listen to the stories, and they became really really engaged and really overwhelmed and emotional about it. And the more books I looked for, the more I realized that there was just a massive genre of books out there that were taking a long time to discover. I spent hours looking for them. And there was one, I was reading them a book about renewable energy, for example, and there was another story that was about an island just off Denmark, where the people in the island became energy independent through a big battle because a storm cut out all their energy one night. And over course of a few years, they became energy independent. And the kids loved these stories so much more than the bare facts. They really got involved in it. And so the more I sort of searched for these books, the more I created a sort of I realized that the school wasn't doing too much about climate change, and I spoke to the school, and I started Microclimate Books, which was a online shop really, with creating packages of stories and books. The school introduced the books, and they did quite a few different activities with the stories, and it went really well, and it's really taken off. The climate fiction books, there's such a spread of Key Stage 1. I'll show you examples of the storybooks. This one is called There's a Orangutan in My Bedroom, which is a really beautiful story about a young girl who finds an orangutan has moved into her bedroom, and she's wondering why he's eating all her food, and she's playing with all her toys, and it's really really brings to life the plight of this orangutan. And as she talks to the orangutan, she realizes that the orangutan, his forest has been chopped down, and the forest has been chopped down to produce to grow palm trees for palm oil for the things that she has in her house. And it's funded by Greenpeace, and there's information at the end about how to write campaigning letters. So this little girl, she starts campaigning and writing to companies about their use of palm oil, and to try and help this orangutan that's in her house. And there's so many different wonderful stories. We've got a story about a carbon atom called Wilson, who which is a really nice book talking about the carbon cycle. We've got a storybook about a crisp packet called Colin, who isn't put in the bin, he's left as litter, and he floats around and troubles all these animals, and finally somebody puts him in the bin and he becomes recycled into a nice watering can. So the fictional stories that gather the children together, and it keeps them engaged and focused, and it brings to life these animals that maybe are sort of quite removed from the children's lives, but it brings them to life. It makes them feel emotional about them and passionate about them, and it can really really draw them into the different topics. We've got Key Stage 2 books as well, a wealth of Key Stage 2. We've got books that are again draw the children in. We've got one about a magical train that goes around the world rescuing animals, and these two children are on the train, and they really get to know these animals that are coming on board, and then once you're on the train, is because their habitats have been destroyed, and by the point where you get to the information about the climate change and the deforestation that's causing these problems, the children are so engaged and emotional about it that they really really sort of it's so much more effective than some of the non-fiction books. We've got some amazing, speaking of non-fiction books, we do have amazing non-fiction ones as well. We've got books that you just wouldn't expect. We've got poetry books, we've got atlases, we've got there's sort of board books, interactive board books, we've got pop-up books. There's so many different types that are really really draw the children in, and there's so many things that you can do. We've got really nice exercises where we've introduced a package of books to the school, and you've got Key Stage 2 children doing reading sessions for Key Stage 1. So they're sort of, we've got groups of children of sort of 3 or 4 Key Stage 1, and you've got the Key Stage 2 are part of the Eco Committee coming in and doing reading sessions with the Key Stage 1, and it really sort of empowers the children on the Eco Committee, and also teaches the children who are the Key Stage 1, and they really enjoy it. We've had sessions where parents come into school to do reading sessions with children, and again it gets the message out there to families as well about the importance of sustainability and learning about climate at school. So we've had some really nice sort of activities that that the children have been engaged in. They've made an eco library where they've got each of you painted the bookshelf green, and they've got the selection of fiction and non-fiction books there, and in a nod to learning about the Fridays for Future movement, they have the children are borrowing books every Friday to take home to read and bring back the next week. So they're learning about the Greta Thunberg and that movement. They're sort of engaging in it and taking the message home and sharing the books with their family, and it's quite it's been quite a positive experience. Just the books as well. I think a few people ask about climate anxiety, eco anxiety, and whether it creates whether it sort of creates, adds to that. And we see with the books that a lot of the books, they really imagine a greener, fairer world. There are a lot of books that have got happy endings, and there are characters in there that save the day. There are eco superheroes who save the day, and the children, it gives them something to look to the future for. It gives them an idea of them being the hero that saves the day. They can envisage a world where things have gone well and things have worked out despite them being difficult now. And so it gives that sort of hope and direction of travel. A lot of the books have got ideas and messages in them of how to make a difference and what to do in terms of campaigning and reducing waste, and they show characters that make a difference by saving the day, by reducing plastic, by stopping this local supermarket from releasing loads of balloons and causing problems to the dolphins in the sea. There's a whole range of stories and a whole range of solutions, and the books really draw the kids in, and they really they help them realize that there is a future and that there is a way to go with it. So the packages that we create bespoke packages for schools, and we also have like an off-the-shelf package for primary schools and for secondary schools. So we look at the budget that's available, and we create a package that has fiction, non-fiction. We can tailor it to certain topics. So we've got loads of books on Antarctica, on rainforests, on plants and trees and different areas, deforestation, rewilding, global warming. There's a whole range of them, but we could create packages that suit a spread of ages and a spread of topics, depending on what the school would like. So a full package, and we cover the whole. We do a primary school package or in a secondary school, so we cover all the different ages with fiction, non-fiction for each age group. Has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask? Lizzie, have you got any?
Where can we see all the different packages and stuff? Are they on your website?
Yeah, there's packages available on there, and there is individual books available on the website as well. So we'll be creating more packages as we go along, but people are welcome to email if they've got a certain, so you've got a topic that you're looking at studying. So for example, waste and recycling and materials. We can create a package that's got stories and non-fiction books for whatever age group, whatever class you're working with, and then or a mixture of ages.
Great, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Rosie?
Excuse me, sorry, I was just wondering, is it possible to put a link into the chat? Oh,
yeah, I'll put the link there, and after this call, either tonight or tomorrow, I'll also send an email out to everybody who registered that will have all the links to everything that we've mentioned today, and a link to the mind map that we've created as a group, and the one that Sue did before, and some extra resources in there as well. So I will send all those out, but I'll also pop them in the chat now while Sue is going to say a few words about Energy Heroes.
Thank you, Lizzie. I just wanted to really tell you a little bit about who we are. Energy Heroes is an innovative program which is maths based, and if you have a look on our website, we also have other resources as well. The main program is a maths based one, using very context rich maths lessons. But we also have, under our extra resources, we have some English topics. There's a Greta Thunberg one, there's some discussion and debate ones, and we hi, I'm back. I think I just cut out there. Yeah, we also have art, geography, DT, and other resources there. For our main maths programme, we go out and we visit schools in currently in Yorkshire, North Lincolnshire and the East Riding. But there is some possibility of expansion to other areas of the country in the future. And as part of that programme, we deliver all our resources completely free. This doesn't cost schools anything. We go and we deliver the first maths lesson and we do an assembly, and then we revisit some schools to help support with developing an eco team and doing lots of energy saving initiatives within the school. So that's just like a very brief whistle stop tour of what Energy Heroes are and why we're doing this today.
Okay, thanks, Sue. So we're coming towards the end of the session. We really try and keep these to 45 minutes because we know how people who work in education work way too many hours. So we try and keep it as concise as possible. We do run these workshops every half term. We've run one every half term this whole year so far. And we run them on a different theme and different topic each time.